Hey everybody, this is IndieGeek, and today I'm taking a look at Saturday Morning RPG. So this is a game by Mighty Rabbit, and it is available on Steam for $7, and of course, as always, I will put the link to where you can purchase that in the description. As you can see, I've played about half an hour, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start a new save and kind of show you guys what's going on with this game in general. So, as you can imagine, the game is an RPG. And if we go to episodes here, there are 4 episodes. I have, of course, only started episode 1 and haven't gotten too far yet. There's also an endless mode where you compete against waves of enemies and try to get high on the leaderboards, as well as an arena mode where you can just do the battle parts. So, what I'm going to do here is just jump right in here, and we're going to start from the beginning. So, the announcer says, "Can Manly Man stop Commander Hood's heinous plans? Find out after these messages from our sponsors." Alright, and then we've got Commander Hood here, and we are the character on the left. "You're too late, Marty. Samantha, the one you love, will soon be mine. There's nothing you can do to stop me." "You're wrong. You're a bad guy, and bad guys never win." "Mwahaha. Your hopeless confidence and optimism amuses me, but enough talk, have at you." So this is going to teach us the combat system, basically. So, right now we've only got our 1 attack, and we get a nice little meter here. We can potentially do some extra damage if we can land right in the sweet spot. I don't think I've ever quite gotten right in the sweet spot, though. So Commander Hood says, "Seriously? That's the best you've got? You're not even worth the time it would take to crush you myself." Teach this little pest a lesson. I have a wedding to plan. Alright. So, yeah, that didn't work well. "Bad guys never win? What a joke. Get lost, nerd, or we'll grind you into the dust again." Dude, that was so not cool. "Yeah, they schooled you. It's the wizard." Of course, you were pretty dumb to take on Commander Hood unarmed. He's the baddest bad guy around. But he kidnapped Samantha and plans to make her marry him. I couldn't just stand there. If you're going to take on Commander Hood, you're going to need some help. I'm the wizard, and I'm here to grant you an ancient power. Whoa, what the heck is... Keep it down. Doing this takes a lot of concentration. Take this artifact, Marty. It will give you the power you need to destroy Commander Hood and save Samantha. This is a notebook. Yes, a notebook of ancient power. With it, you can use items you find in the world as powerful weapons. Anything this notebook touches will be affected by its magic. How can this be possible? There's no such thing as a magical notebook. Fine, you don't have to believe me. See for yourself. Hey guys, did you hear what this jerk has to say about your mothers? What? My mother was a saint. Hold on a minute. I didn't say anything. Oh man, I'm gonna die. Okay, so one of the things I should explain about the game is it is kind of a... yeah, I wasn't ready to do this. I think it might give me infinite time for this first one, though. So that is something that'll happen at the beginning of every battle. So, one of the things about this game is that it has tons of references to... you know, kind of like video game and nerd culture of the 80s and 90s. So, you know, the wizard, of course, he's got the power glove, and it's so bad and all that, you know. I mean, there's just tons of references in the game to find, and that's, you know, that's kind of the fun of it. So, we're going to learn about kind of the more complex parts of the RPG battle system here. So, those stickers you scratch give you powerful boosts in battle. In addition, your notebook can store objects that can pummel enemies. Defeat this guy by using those objects. So, we are going to try some of these out, and each of them has like a different mini-game associated with it. So, I can use like the Michael Jackson glove here, and you can actually defend. I'm actually using the mouse to defend. You can also just left mouse click to defend. So it ends up having kind of a kind of like a Super Mario, well, what games did? Like Mario and Luigi, those RPG games, if you played any of those, you probably kind of recognize this system. I think the original Super Mario RPG might have done it as well, where you can actually press a button at the right time to increase your attack, as well as press a button at the right time to decrease the damage you take from attacks. So that's kind of the basis of the RPG system. You knocked out my buddy. Time to die, for the good of the hood. Alright. Hopefully you can't hear me like pounding on my keyboard. Oh, I unlocked an achievement. Interesting. I've unlocked the full range of abilities held by your notebook, Marty. Now you're playing with power. In addition to using the objects to attack, you can generate power from batteries. That power builds up a charge that will boost the effect of those attacks. Charging uses up your magic power. Magic can be restored through defending against attacks or punching enemies. So we can do this, and I think I'm going to do gauge-based charge. So that was pretty good. And there are various levels that you can defend, basically, depending on what time you click. And I found the timing of those to be a little strange sometimes. That may just be me, but a lot of times it seems like clicking later than you think it should is actually better for you. I probably don't need to do that. I could probably just use the disc again. And we should be good to go. Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much the basis of the combat system in the game. So Marty says, that was radical. Told you, but don't get cocky, kid. You still have to travel to the far side of Gaia if you want to rescue Samantha. That won't be easy. Commander Hood's goons, Skellebore and Madeline, are waiting. They'll do anything they can to stop you. With this power, I feel ready to take on the world. I love this power. It's so bad. Yeah, I know everyone was waiting for that. Alright, so then we actually get to kind of explore our environment. And this becomes kind of the other part of the game. So, like I said, if I was going to compare this to another game, it would be the Mario and Luigi games. I mean, there's been like 5 or 6 of them, so I'm not going to say a title. But I mean, if you have played those games, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, we've got these sections where we walk around, and then the combat section, where a lot of it comes down to how well you can time your attacks and your dodges. And I think those parts of the game are really good. One of the things that I'm not totally sure of is like the kind of the art style. I like the pixel parts of it, but some of it feels a little weird because of the fact that some things are like rendered in 3D, while like our characters and other things are rendered in like pixels, which is it's just a little bit clashing. I don't know. I mean, it's not like super disturbing. It just feels like it clashes a little bit to me. And I don't know, maybe people don't mind that, but that's just something that I've noticed. But the music is all pretty good. I like the music a lot. That being said, you know, even though I feel like the art style kind of doesn't mesh well together, both of the parts of the art style work well on their own. You know, I mean, like, the pixel art is good. I like the pixel art a lot. And then the stuff that's rendered in 3D is also pretty good. So, that is something that you're going to want to do, is those batteries, because we just did like 18 damage because of it, and we certainly wouldn't have done that otherwise. Oh, and here's our first little jerk. So that guy just wanted us to collect 5 jerks. I'm not totally sure on the length of the game because, like I said, I've only played about a half hour or so before doing this. But I would imagine it's got a pretty decent amount of length. Alright, so I'm going to do this. So I mean, the only thing about doing that is that it kind of uses up a turn. So that is something to keep in mind. But typically it's a good idea just because... Oh, that was so bad though. So that, as you can see, I used 2 turns basically to have an attack miss. And it may just be me, and just because this is the nature of luck, but I've found that I've had a lot of attacks miss. And just like a little more frequently than I would typically expect from like an RPG. So I don't know if that's just my experience or what. Alright, that one hit at least. Let's try this other one, non-interactive quick charge. Oh, interesting. So it just doesn't get us quite as much as the other one did. Yeah, I will say though, I'm enjoying the gameplay a lot. I guess I'll show off. This is kind of fun. Cool. So that did it. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, I mean, especially the combat system I like a lot. Besides, you know, I've probably mentioned on some of my other videos, if you've checked those out, I definitely like, oh, it's Madeline. What is this? How could a puny worm like you make it past my lizard minions? Aren't you Madeline? I am, or am I Madeline? Of course, you feeble-minded simpleton. And you should cower in fear, for I am a most powerful sorceress. Powerful? Yeah, right. This cool cat, the wizard, gave me this nifty notebook. I'm going to wipe the floor with you. Insolent insect, you will regret those words. You will never make it to Commander Hood, for you will fall at my hands. I mean, I think in some ways the issues I have with the art style are a bit explained by the story, because I think it's supposed to play out as if we, you know, because like we were asleep, and I think this is supposed to be like our dream, which is cool. And you know, I kind of get where that's coming from. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna like harp on the art style too much. Like I said, I think both parts look nice. It just is a little jarring to see them together, and I don't know if maybe later on that'll be explained a little more in depth, or if we are just supposed to accept that it's just that way because of the fact that we're in the dream. Either way, it's fine. You know, that is definitely one of the nice things about art is it is, you know, it's something that everyone needs to decide for themselves what they like and what they don't like. So I'm not going to tell you guys, you know, whether or not you should like this. I'm just going to tell you that I don't necessarily think that it meshes well together. But you know, like I mentioned before, the music is pretty good. So yeah, I'm kind of digging the music. But I mean, what's really selling me on this is nice. That was really good. What's really selling me on the game is the combat, because I've always loved this style of combat. You know, I was a huge fan of all the Mario RPGs, as well as just like the references, the way the story plays out, and you get just like tons of references, because I love that kind of stuff in games. But maybe I'll do like one more battle here, and then call it a wrap for this one. But yeah, I'm definitely having a good time. I think especially if you if you are kind of into, you know, nerd culture, and especially like nerd culture of the 80s and 90s, this is definitely a good game for you. Or, you know, if you like the kind of like the combat aspects of the various Mario RPGs, because this basically follows that same format. But yeah, I've definitely enjoyed my time, and I could definitely see myself spending some more time with this. But, you know, there's not too much more to say. You know, like I said, if it seems like something that you're gonna like, if you liked some of the other games that I've compared it to, then I definitely think this is a good purchase for you. Oh, and how perfect that I'm gonna end this with the XP that I've got. That's brilliant. But yeah, anyways, you know, I'm gonna wrap this up now. I like the game a lot, and I think that you will too. I think, you know, there's a lot of love put into just kind of collecting the references and fitting them in there, and if I haven't mentioned before, I definitely love when games do that. You know, I loved Retro City Rampage, stuff like that. You know, some of these newer games that reference all of the older gamer culture. But, yeah, with that being said, I think that'll be all I've got to say about this one. So, as always, feel free to comment if there's anything that you would like to comment on. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos every single day. And if you liked what you saw in Saturday Morning RPG, then consider clicking the like button, because that could help me out a lot. I appreciate everything that you do to help. So with all of that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.